I'm convinced they are soaked into the carpets and walls. Rotten egg is not even enough to describe what the smell is. It's almost as if something literally died inside of his stomach and was leaking into the air, trying to kill anyone that smells.
That's
Can you imagine?
No.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Legacy Journeys. I'm your host, Liv, along with my co-host,
Carlton, the host with the most.
as always. And for tonight's episode, we're just going to get right into another subreddit, Am I the Asshole?
All right.
Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband because of his farts? I truly wish this were a joke. Part of this whole situation is on me for not dating him for a long time before we got married. And a big chunk of that dating was spent having completely lost my sense of smell from COVID.
Yeah, that's messed up. And I had forgotten about that. I'm sorry, I know I interrupted the article, but I had forgotten about that people would lose their sense.
A smell from COVID. Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
The fact alone is absolutely unbelievable, but it's true. Side note, I got my smell back. The other wild part is that when we were dating, he hung over at my place mainly, and I didn't carry a lot of unhealthy snacks for him to snack on that night. This fact is very relevant for the story.
It's all very in all caps.
Right. Once we got married, things went downhill very quickly. He started inhaling as many snacks and as much dairy as possible at night. Sometimes he would go out and get a deep dish, fried cheese, loaded pizza, and devour it at 11 p.m. after eating an entire bag of greasy chips and like 27 pieces of taffy and a glass of milk or 3.
Oh, his stomach.
Right. At first, I thought it was just a bad fart here and there. But as the nights progressed, I realized that the bad farts were becoming a nightly nightmare. Not a nightly nightmare.
Nightly nightmare.
I know what normal stinky farts are, even bad sulfuric farts. But these farts are not simply either of those. These farts are incompatible with life itself.
Messed up. Incompatible
with life. The first time one really hit me in the face, I projectile vomited. I know how you feel, girl. I could taste them. They were almost tangible objects in the air. I'm convinced they are soaked into the carpets and walls. Rotten egg is not even enough to describe what the smell is. It's almost as if something literally died inside of his stomach and was leaking into the air, trying to kill anyone that smells. Can you imagine?
No.
His farts are not human. They are not silly little rotten egg farts. There is something wrong with him, truly. These farts are almost alive with a mind of their own, and they are terrifying. If there was a horror movie made about farts, it would be about his.
That's messed up.
Look, ching ching, the fart.
Right.
Killer farts. They are unsettling at best. They make your mind feel like something bad happened, perhaps a murder. Your spirit does not feel settled because these are not normal farts in any way at all. These are violently horrifying.
Violently horrifying.
It got to the point where I had to stop sleeping in our bedroom the second month of our marriage. Not only that, but I had to blast the AC, stuff towels under our door, stuff towels under my daughter's door, turn the fan on in both rooms, and sleep in her room with her. Damn.
That's a lot.
He snuck into her room and farted when I was almost asleep so that I would start dry heaving. I had to start sleeping with the door locked with her. Now that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I started routine prescription nausea medicine to keep my food down at night just in case, because it was becoming kind of a health hazard because of how sick it was making me. When I asked him if he thought the amount of food he was inhaling every night was causing his farts, and he said yes. I asked if maybe he could slow down or substitute for healthier snacks, such as sea salt popcorn or a bit lighter and less full of thick cheese snacks. And he said no. His reasoning, y'all get ready. He said he likes the way the fart feels exiting his butt as they vibrate his prostate and butthole. Say what?
Yeah, this dude, right?
He loves the way it feels vibrating his prostate.
I mean,
do you know, like, how does your prostate feel? Do you know, like, can you feel it? Man,
I mean,
can y'all feel?
When the doctor is checking it, that's one thing.
You can feel it?
I just didn't even think about it. But,
can you, otherwise, you can feel your prostate? Like, I'm not even kidding. He freaking said that. She said in all caps. I'm so horrified that I even typed that. My life became a living nightmare as I could no longer sleep in my room and also remain alive.
Damn, sis.
My desk was in my room, so I also had to stop working in the daytime from my bedroom. He works from home in the bedroom too. I had to change the entire situation just to cater to the pleasure of his farts. That's disgusting.
That's just hard to say.
That's crazy. I tried desperately to get him to go to a doctor. I found referrals to gastroenterologists. I brought him probiotics, enzymes, milk substitutes. I cooked healthy meals. He literally told me he didn't want the healthy meal and drive himself to Taco Bell instead. Now, y'all know Taco Bell, a.k.a. Taco Hell, anytime you eat that shit, it's coming out, it's gaseous.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good word for it.
Yeah, it's
gaseous. And that's being
respectful. I mean, because that shit stinks.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
That's like, if y'all ever had White Castle, White Castles is so good when you leave the club. Well, it used to be when you leave the club. But there was one time where me and my daughter's father, we had some White Castle, and he went to the house for a minute. I was in the car, and y'all, I farted, and I thought by the time he got back it would pass. He came in the car and was like, ew. He said it smelled just like White Castle. I was so embarrassed, but shit, it is what it is.
Hey, it's more room on the outside.
Hey, that's what they say. But yeah, that shit. So I can imagine Taco Bell. Yeah, I can imagine how that, and mixed with everything else he ate. Yeah, that's a cocktail. That's an atomic bomb, like just ready to explode.
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
Describe it. It's crazy.
He refused to go to the doctor. He took the probiotics sometimes, but usually just pretended to and slipped them by his nightstand so I wouldn't see that he didn't take them. Yeah. Knowing I was going to have to remain on prescription nausea meds, possibly for life, just to cohabitate with this man was so mind-blowing. Our budget was going crazy to keep up with the demands of the amount of food needed to keep his farting for pleasure needs met. At one time, he literally inhaled so much food so fast and so nonstop that he gained 12 pounds in 48 hours, and he looked at the scale and screamed. That's what his ass get. I tried to get him into therapy and the psychiatrist, but no. I'm a very body positive person that does not fat shame and genuinely believes that you should eat what makes you feel healthy and good and not worry about hitting some numbers on the scale. The situation, however, feels like a very disastrous issue that is very weird and not very common. Something that people probably can't relate to because it's just completely absurd in every way. I can't relate to that at all. He said he will always choose that vibrational fart feeling and the fart smell and the grease snacks and the cheese above me. He said that is a hill he is forever willing to die on.
Yo, bro, why did you get married? Like,
I mean, at first she couldn't smell him, so he didn't know. Unless he probably didn't know that it was because of COVID. He probably just, thought she had an issue and he was going around farting and shit and she, had no idea. But I'm like, how? Oh, well, if she's telling the story now, my guess is they got married pretty quickly, it sounds like.
Right. That they,
Yeah.
Maybe they had just started dating when COVID
Right,
happened
right.
or something.
But she said, yeah, they got married kind of
So this has
fast.
been within the last few years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is the story of why I'm divorcing my husband over farts. On the surface level, I know it sounds like it's just about farts and that I'm just a really shallow wife. But I think it's actually so much deeper. It's just hard to explain how. Oh my God, y'all.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a maturity thing with
Oh
him.
yeah, absolutely. Because, like, I could understand when you were a kid and you like farting in the tub because it makes the little bubble sound, like,
right,
But come on now, we are grown, like, and then for you to say that, like, you like the way it feels against your prostate.
Yo,
I'm confused about that. Man, y'all gotta tell me.
That is the wildest answer.
Is that
mean,
why?
And it might feel good to
and
fart,
I could
but
be
just to like to know that like what you're doing, ingesting, and you want to eat all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like you want to do that to somebody else.
It's affecting somebody else. Like it's crazy.
Right.
And then all that shit can't be healthy for you.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like it can't be.
A pizza at 11 o'clock, babe.
At 11 o'clock. Like first of all, oh my God, I would have indigestion.
Right.
Like I would just explode off the gas, like just the gas inside my body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From all that food. Like that's just bananas.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't
Where
think she's
y'all-
the asshole.
Hell no.
That was the question. She's not.
Yeah, hell no, she's not the asshole. He is absolutely the asshole. And not only that, he's crazy.
I want to make sure I acknowledge that she did a lot. You know what I'm saying?
She took medicine, prescription meds for nausea.
Prescription meds. She putting out towels.
She finding gastroenterologists for him.
Psychiatrists.
Right.
All
like everything.
Cooking him healthy food. Like, yo, dude, this
and he
is
like,
issue.
no.
Right.
I like the feeling. I love the feeling so much.
I'm in love with this.
He would be by himself with his stinking ass.
Yeah, for a long time.
By himself. Because ain't nobody going to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, ain't nobody dealing with that. All right. So, as you would like to say, moving right along. So, we're moving on to our main topic, which is
how to make friends as an adult.
Yes.
By Mark Manson.
Yes. And Mark Manson wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So I know that title is shocking, but yeah, he really is talking about, like, when I break it down, he's talking about energy. You know what I'm saying? How much energy you gonna give to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only got so many fucks to give. You know, how many fucks are you gonna give to a certain situation, to a certain person, to, you know, to a certain idea or whatever. Right. So, but yeah, he put a good article together here. So, and
let me just say this. I always pick at him about it, but I love the fact that he reads. Cause with him, I like a man to teach me stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. It goes both ways. Absolutely. You know, where you could teach your man stuff, but I've always felt like a man is supposed to like teach and uplift you. And yeah, I talk shit about him reading, but I actually love it because yeah, a lot of men don't. And like they say, reading is fundamental. No, I'm just playing. But it really is. Yeah. It really is. Like, see, I enjoy reading, but I like to read novels. He liked to read self-help books and, you know, all that. And I get it. I love it. But anyway, we're going to get into this article here. Romantic relationships get all the attention. But I argue that friendships are just as important, if not more so, for our health and happiness. Just like with romantic relationships, creating fulfilling, lasting friendships as an adult can be really hard. And it can be. But why? I mean, sure, there's the logical side of it. As we age, our lives get more complex and filled with responsibilities. making it harder to find the time and energy to forge new connections. We also get set in our ways, making it difficult to let down our guard and open ourselves to new people and experiences. But there's also this whole emotional world that, as adults, we tend to forget or outright ignore because we think we shouldn't have these kinds of emotional problems anymore. I mean, it probably feels a little weird to even be reading an article about making friends. You should have figured out how to make friends by now, right?
Right.
Well, like nearly everything in life is not quite that simple. And yeah, y'all,
Yeah.
as I get older, yeah, I realize for me, and again, this is just me, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm traumatized when making new friends. I am literally traumatized because of the experiences that I've had dealing with friends. Okay. I'll never forget my best friend. We graduated from high school. And look, I didn't even go to my senior prom because she couldn't go. And so, that's how close I was a friend to her. But yeah, clearly it wasn't the same for me. And the reason we stopped talking or being friends, I'll never forget. It was 2004. She was dating my cousin, my blood cousin. And I know she wasn't being faithful to him because she was still seeing her ex and any other guy that hollered at her, she was talking to him while seeing my cousin. And I tried to tell him, I really did, because I'm like, who am I if I'm allowed, yeah, she my girl, but yo, this my blood. Like,
Right.
I'm like, if she had brothers, like, you would feel some type of way if you knew that I was doing your brother wrong.
Right.
So why should I allow you do that to my cousin?
Right.
And so I told him, but his dumb ass stayed. Oh well, whatever. They're no longer together, but still, he stayed at that time. And the sad part was the reason we stopped talking was I hadn't talked to him in like, they both were in Jersey. This is when I was living in Jersey. And we had stopped talking. Oh, this was by the time when I had moved down here. Her and I were still cool, but him and I had stopped talking. And this was after I basically told him, like, yo, like, she's seeing other men, or whatever. And he still stayed. And so I hadn't talked to him. I don't know if he was mad or whatever, but I hadn't talked to him. So I had called her, I never forget, on her birthday. It's October 23rd. I had called her for her birthday and I asked about my cousin. Next thing I know, she flips out on me. Like, flipped out. Like, I'm being nosy and this and this and that. And why am I asking about him? And I'm like, because, bitch, that's my cousin. And I haven't talked to him and I'm concerned. And so we got into it and she hung up on me. And y'all don't nobody like to be hung up on. And so I called her back and she said some other words and hung up on me again. Well, that was the last time we talked. Because I'm like, you're the one who's wrong. I'm not wrong. All I'm doing is asking about my cousin because I know you're the only one that talked to him and I didn't.
Right. And she was in the wrong. And she, from before, how she was treating him. From
right.
What you were saying, like,
exactly. And
how you upset with me?
How you upset with me because I'm asking how my cousin doing. And I know that you're the only one that he communicates with. Because I hadn't talked to him at this point in months.
Right.
And would you believe, y'all, I still have not talked to him. And we used to, and it just breaks my heart because we used to be super close. We were friends on Facebook. I've reached out to him. I've texted him. I've called him. I messaged him on Messenger and nothing. Nothing. I mean, it is what it is. I was hurt. I'm no longer hurt. I was hurt. But, it is what it is. I hope wherever he is, he's doing well. But yeah, I haven't talked to him. And so Yeah, that was the first, like, well, that wasn't the first friendship, but that was one of many that ended, over some dumb shit. So at this point, I'm traumatized about making any new friends because I got my guard up because I've been hurt so many times. Like, yeah, it's not even funny.
Yes.
Why is it so hard to make friends as an adult? The fact is, as we get older, any lingering emotional issues we have only get more complex. We layer emotions on top of emotions, on top of baggage from our past, on top of all the fucked up programming society has shoved in our faces for decades by this point. And yeah, that kind of started it for me.
Yeah, I mean, the emotional layering.
Yeah. When viewed from this perspective, it's really no wonder it gets harder to make friends as we get older. From my experience, here are some of the deeper, more difficult challenges we face in making friends as adults. You're too afraid of rejection. Perhaps the most significant emotional challenge of making friends or forming any new relationship, really, as an adult, is the fear of rejection. When we reach out to others and attempt to build new relationships, we open ourselves to the possibility of rejection, which can be deeply painful and discouraging. And yeah, it can be. When you're in a new relationship with and that's anybody, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to be able to reach out first. You know what I'm saying? You want to be your authentic self, but you don't know if you can be because you don't know if they're going to accept you how you are.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, you got to be your authentic self. To me,
I mean, yeah, again, I've always felt like I was, but again, because of all of my shit that I went through, you know what I'm saying, growing up, dealing with being molested like several times and people, your family treating you like shit. So yeah, like I was always, first of all, I'm always social. And so I was always the type that like wanted a friend. Like, yeah, I always like just wanted that one person because I'm an only child. I have no siblings. I got plenty of cousins and family, but just because they're your family doesn't mean they're your friend. And I had to learn
good
that the
point.
hard way. Yeah, so yeah, it's hard being vulnerable with somebody, and thinking that they're going to accept you the way you are, especially when you've always been rejected or not accepted by your family. When we reach out to others and attempt to build new relationships, we open ourselves to the possibility of rejection, which can be deeply painful and discouraging. Yes, it can. I was always the type that longed for a deep, true friendship because I didn't have that. Especially growing up where I was molested several times. My family treated me like I was an outcast, like I wasn't accepted. So I always longed for being accepted. I was always wanting to be accepted. And so, yes, I wanted a friendship, you know? And so it's natural to feel anxious or nervous when trying to make new friends. Hell, I say it's even a healthy sign. After all, if you truly just didn't give a shit about what anyone thought, well, that would make you a psychopath. True. But the social pressures we face to fit in or not look creepy or desperate or whatever have taken their toll by the time we reach our 30s and beyond. Mm-hmm. Rejection from our peers, we're taught early in life, is something to be avoided at all costs. Right. Yes.
It's on a primal level.
Yes. But it's important to recognize that rejection is not a reflection of your worth or value as a person. It's simply a sign that you aren't compatible as friends. And that's very true.
Everybody don't have to be your friend.
Everybody does not have to be your friend. I didn't understand that now, but I definitely, absolutely understand that now. You know, I was always keeping friends, you know, and again, I would see a bunch of flags, but I would ignore it all the time. I would ignore it and it would bite me in the ass because I didn't ignore it. Shit such as like lying. And this why now, like I can't stand people who volunteer a lie.
Volunteer a lie.
Hey, that's why I call it. You lying for no reason.
Right.
I ain't even asked for the lie, but you lying. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I know a lot of people like that. I'll never forget this, and y'all, I swear, everything I'm telling y'all is a fact. It's a true story. I had this friend, well, she was a friend that I worked with. And we, you know, we were cool. Our daughters were the same age. You know, her daughter used to stay over at my house. I've been over at her house. I met her kids. I met her crazy ass husband. And yeah, we were cool. But I don't know. She had this thing where she would lie about stupid shit. Like one time she told me she had this guy named Junior. And the sad part, she was a church-going chick. And she swore up and down she could sing. She could carry a tune, but she couldn't sing. Not to me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. She used to always... And you know what? And this is a sidebar. I can't stand for people to always be singing who think they can sing, but they can't really sing. They always singing. Have you ever noticed that? Somebody who always singing and they cannot hold a tune. She sound good in a choir, but and with other people,
back up.
Yeah, but other than that, I'll never forget when she said she did a ballad like out loud or a cappella. She sung "Chestnuts Roasting" over on an open fire or whatever for Christmas, and oh my God, I was so embarrassed because it did not sound good. But she did it, and I was like, "Wow, you did that." But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So she told me she had this guy named Junior from her church that she wanted to hook me up with. I was like, okay. I would ask, okay, so what's going on? She was like, yeah, he said he was doing this and doing that or whatever. Okay. Next day, oh, what's going on with Junior? Oh, well, he said he was going to give you a call, but he this and this and that. Okay, so one time we went to the bar after work and she was like trying to call him, but he wasn't answering his phone. So I was like, well, give me his number. I'll call him. Y'all, I shit you not. She gave me his number, and when I finally called, Junior was the damn lady who'd be like, doo-doo-doo, the number you have dialed is no longer in service. Please check your number and call again.
Yeah.
That was Junior. He was fucking fake. He didn't exist.
Yeah, that's rough right there.
And I'm like...
That's rough right there.
That should have been a dead giveaway for me to like cut ties with this bitch.
Yeah, she said she had been talking to
But
him.
no, my dumb ass stayed. I wanted the next episode of Crazy. And so then there was this guy, we worked at HR and the IT department was across the hall. And in the middle, there was like a station with coffee, snacks, sodas, whatever. And so I used to see this guy. Now, mind you, I clearly seen that he had a ring on. He was wearing a ring. But no, this chick tells me that he told her the ring was given by his grandfather. It wasn't a wedding ring. It was a ring his granddad gave him that he wears on his ring finger. My dumb ass believed it because she told me that he was asking her about me. And gave me a whole story, babe, about how, yeah, he was asking about you and said you was this and that. But what she didn't know or didn't expect from me was that I would reach out to him. Because I'm like, why not? And so I sent him an instant message. Okay, and was like, hey, you know, my girl told me that you were asking about me, da-da-da-da-da, like, what's up? Y'all. this man was like, he is married. And he was like, yo, he was like, I can't believe your friend would say that to you. Like, she is not your friend. Clearly, she wasn't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, y'all, I swear
Like,
to
why would you lie about that?
I would not I'm not taking away from the story. I'm not adding to it. This woman did this to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed, babe.
Right.
I was like, yeah, we end up becoming cool, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, he did not tell. That never happened.
That is so crazy.
Like,
though.
why
Like,
would you set
like
me
that?
up? Yes. And I think in some crazy way of hers, she thought she was like helping me.
Yeah. Like, what's she, like? How are you helping me if you're not helping me get to the end result that I want? And you're fabricating
things. Babe. Junior, him.
Junior.
And then on top of that,
there's this guy at my church named Junior.
And I was like, his name is Junior.
Right. Like, he got
like, are we kids?
Right.
Like, his name is Junior.
Right.
Like, okay. I'm thinking at 40 or whatever, you would go by your name and not Junior.
I mean,
so that should have been a clue, but you know what? Again, I fuck up by giving people grace and thinking like, shut up, babe. I have a problem with giving people grace and not thinking that they're crazy. When in all actuality, they're crazy.
I mean,
I'm just saying. And then on top of that, my ex, the one that passed away, when we were talking, she told me that she went to some baby shower and some girl she met there said that they knew him and that he was weird.
And that wasn't true.
And that it was so not true. Yeah, so not true. Like, but these are the type of people that I attract. So I'm thinking at this point, like, you know what, Olivia, maybe it's you that's the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe it's you. Not them, but you. Anyway, this is a good thing, being rejected. Even if it stings to get rejected, it means you can move on and find friends that accept you for who you are. This is a necessary, albeit painful, part of the weeding out process. You're desperately trying to cover up your flaws. Building deep connections with others requires a willingness to be vulnerable and share your true self with others. That includes all the fucked up parts of you too.
Yep.
This can be scary. It means putting yourself out there and risking the possibility of rejection or judgment. It takes courage to be vulnerable, but the rewards of deep, meaningful friendships are well worth it, and they are.
Agree.
I have a friend that is absolutely horrible at keeping secrets. Because he's so open and honest about it, in a strange way, I find it endearing. Part of that is because I don't really value keeping secrets, nor do I want to have a bunch of secrets that need to be kept. So in this way, we're both self-selecting for a friendship without secrets, and we're better off for it. Mm-hmm. If he were to meet someone who was highly secretive and valued friends who kept their mouths shut, well, it just wouldn't work, and one or both of them would reject the friendship, and they both be better off for it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
See how that works? You're not making the time or space for new people in your life. As we grow older, our lives get much busier and more complicated. As a result, our time and attention is far more limited than it used to be. When it comes to building friendships, one of the core components is the simplest: time spent together. People who spend a lot of time together naturally tend to become friends. When you're young, it's easy to spend a lot of time with somebody. In fact, you're forced to. In school, you have to spend hundreds of hours with the same group of kids. In college, you live with your classmates. Facts. But by middle age, everyone lives on their own, with their own families and their own jobs and their own hobbies and their own vacations. Therefore, fairly late in life, you have to teach yourself to deliberately make time and space for friendships. That means schedule and plan social time. Create or join social groups that meet regularly. Go out of your way to make sure you're getting steady FaceTime with certain people. 4 counterintuitive principles for making friends as an adult. In my experience, some of the most effective ways to make friends as an adult are a bit counterintuitive, paradoxical even, but they actually address the underlying issues that a lot of people face when trying to make new friends in your 30s, 40s, and beyond. So without further ado, here are 4 ways to actually make lasting friendships in your adult life. Number 1, focus on yourself first. This may seem selfish, but the truth is that when we invest time and energy in our own passion and interests, we become more interesting and likable to others. People are drawn to those who are confident, passionate, and engaged in life. By pursuing your own goals and interests, you'll naturally attract others who share your values and passions.
I agree with that.
And he says that all the time with me because, again, I've shared with him like my past like traumas and issues with, dealing with women that I thought were my friend, especially family. Like I had this cousin, and he knows which one I'm talking about. I was talking to this guy, and he invited me over, and he asked if I had a friend because he had a cousin that he lived with, and I was like, okay, sure. So I invited my cousin, and so we get over there, and before we even get inside, we had to think of a code to say if one of us was ready to leave. I just knew because of her, it would be her, but it ended up being me instead. And so we both agreed, went in, and the first thing she did was we were at the table and we were all talking. And for some reason, they were talking about me and me being attractive or whatever. And trust me, I'm not trying to blow myself up or anything, but they were talking about me. And for whatever reason, this girl says out of nowhere, I think I got psoriasis. Now, I have psoriasis. But again, I was just talking to this dude. We weren't in a relationship. So I never disclosed that to him. And so I'm looking at her like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm like, okay, I guess she wanted to take the attention off of me and bring it to herself, which she did temporarily because she was like, oh, look at my arm. And mind you, she light skinned. And so she's like, look at my arm. Like she had a spot on her that none of us seen, asking if it was psoriasis. And she was like, Olivia, you know about psoriasis. And y'all, this is my fucking blood that did me like this.
In front of some strangers.
In front of some niggas. Like, really? And so I was like, okay, I looked at her crazy, but I didn't say anything. So then, I don't know what happened. I think it was because we were playing on his card table. He had like a poker table. It was nice. And somehow I spilled wine on it. And it seemed like everything took a turn after that because he was acting kind of funny. So I'm telling her, like, I'm ready to go. I think we exchanged some words. Again, this had to be like 2015, 16. So I give her the code word. And y'all, she's sitting there. She ain't moving. Like, all right, like, let me get my shit. It's time for us to bounce. She's sitting there, and she was eating popcorn. And instead of her leaving, she like, this popcorn show is good. I'll never forget. And I was like, and so I said it again, maybe just in case I knew she heard me. So I said it again. She's still sitting there chilling. So y'all, at this point, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And so we finally leave, and we get in the car. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, what was all that about? We discussed the code word, and you just sitting there chilling. I'm like, and so I just kind of went off. And so she gets mad, and so she wants to get out the car and walk off.
Right.
It had to be like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I know I should have left the bitch there. But I'm like, and so I have to go back to dude's house because somehow she ended up back there. I'm talking to him. Now, mind y'all, I know at this point, like, whatever I did, he ain't interested. You know, that's why I was trying to leave the house. And so I'm talking to him. I'm embarrassed because I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I can't believe this is happening right now while I'm trying to leave this dude's house.
Right.
And so he's talking to me. We end up going back in his house. And another dude comes over. And she's talking to him like she is so into him. And me and dude sitting there like,
y'all ain't having no conversation, really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
It was so awkward.
Forced. Yeah.
Right. It was so awkward. And I know he was just being nice and not just leaving me sitting there.
Right.
And so, yeah, needless to say, we finally left.
Yeah.
And then she had the nerve to say when I dropped her off at her house, talking about don't hit her. Yeah, that was the last time I talked to her that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, again, I don't know if it's me. I'm like, maybe I'm the problem. Because again, I don't do anything to bring any type of this energy to me.
Yeah, that situation. I mean, I don't know, man. That's just.
And I swear, y'all, I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make it up if I tried. I cannot make it up. This happened to me by my blood cousin. And I don't know if I got crazy on my head. Hey, welcome. I love crazy. I don't know, but that is what I get. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I'm traumatized when it comes to meeting another woman for a friendship. I'm like I'm scared at this point because I've been through it. What's more is that there's nothing worse in a friendship, any relationship really, than someone who constantly needs to be fixed. Yeah. At this point in my life, I just don't have the capacity to be in a friendship where I'm always the one like helping you, talking to you, and you not being there for me. I'm so sick of that, and he knows I am a good friend. I am a good friend. I will be there for you. If you're going through something, I'll talk to you. But yet, I'm never fed. Like, I'm never fed in my relationships with women. Like, I'm not going to say never, but they're never pouring into me. It's more of me pouring into them emotionally. And I just don't have the capacity to deal with that in my life anymore. What's more is that there's nothing worse than, oh, I've already read that. Take care of your own shit so you can be there for other people when they need you, and they'll do the same for you. Yeah. In a seemingly paradoxical way, taking care of yourself first will attract the kind of supportive, loving friends that can help you be even better in the long run. Number 2, seek more rejection, not less. Really?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, it's going to be counterintuitive.
Yeah. When we put ourselves out there and attempt to build new connections, rejection is inevitable. Rather than fearing rejection, try embracing it. Recognize that rejection is not a reflection of your worth or value as a person, and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And that's right. Just like how I said in the last episode, where if you feel like you're not compatible with a person you're meeting to potentially date, it's okay to let them know that. Same goes for same sex. When you have a friend or a potential friend, if you're meeting them and you know that y'all ain't compatible and y'all, you know, you ain't gonna be able to, yeah, you can't be friends with them because that's just not you. Let them know. It's okay. And see, that's my problem because I suck at that. Clearly, I suck at that. I will see red flags flying all over the fucking place, and I will ignore it because I always give people grace, and it bites me in the ass. Every single time it bites me in the ass. Yeah, so by taking risk and putting yourself in situations where rejection is a possibility, you'll become more resilient and more likely to find the right connections while weeding out all the wrong ones.
I agree 100%.
Number 3, be more selective. If there's one point that conventional advice for making friends misses completely, it's how selective you should be. I don't mean that you should be a snobby asshole going around thinking you're better than everyone else. All I'm suggesting is rather than trying to connect with anyone and everyone, focus on building deep, meaningful connections with a few key people. Mm-hmm. And that is the key for me.
Yeah, that is the key for me too.
Yeah, I only have a few people that I call a friend. And I'm okay with that. I don't need 10. Yeah, I don't need 10. I'm okay with a few, because too much, and I hate to say this, too much with women is drama. It's always drama. And again, at 50 years old, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't deal with all those personalities, and you know what I'm saying, this person needing this, and
you gotta be more selective.
Please. I don't know if you look. I don't know what y'all tell me seriously. What do y'all do? How do you vet friends?
You gotta vet them. I mean, I know. Again, like it says in here, you're gonna run into some people. Like if you're focusing on yourself, if you're building up yourself, you're gonna have some things that you like to do, some values that you're gonna create for yourself. And then you're going to start running into people with those same shared values.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, that's a good start. It doesn't mean that person's a perfect fit. That just means that y'all got a good start.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, I had to.
Some of your stories is like, wow. Like,
I had to cut it. Yeah. And once I did, it was like a relief. Yeah. A huge relief was like off my shoulders, because again, I didn't have the capacity to continue feeding her, and I'm not getting anything. I'm pouring into her, and my cup is empty. Right. And what's sad is that on TikTok, there's a lot of women now who be like, they're in their 40s and they have no friends.
Yeah, that's strange to me. You know what I mean? And that's just,
it is.
I get it, because I understand that in this world you can have all like infinite possibilities. You know what I'm saying? In this universe, you got infinite possibilities. It's just weird because I don't experience it. You see what I mean?
Well,
but I can imagine it. You know
I don't think men go through like what we go through as women to like make friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Y'all tell me.
I mean, I think it's too. I remember we were reading some article in one of the episodes, and it was talking about like men are a little bit more used to being rejected. I mean, we saw that somewhere, like
right, from the opposite sex,
right,
but not with each other.
I mean, yeah, we go through stuff. Like there's still like cool guy clubs and stuff like that. Yeah, baby, that.
I mean, what's a cool? I mean, at
cool
this
kid,
at
like
our
cool
age,
yeah, it's networking, babe. People like you in this circle or you're not.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Networks matter. Like they really matter. Yeah. Depending on what you want, you know, depending on what your end goal in this, you know, in this existence is. If you can, you know, control as much as you can. It's just me thinking. Right. You know. Yeah, you want to have certain types of people in your network. Yeah, yeah. If you're on purpose, you know what I'm saying? Right. If you're on purpose, you're going to be more selective. Right. So, because you just, you know, everybody may not have you only got so many slots. You know, like Jim Rohn said, shouts out to Jim Rohn, rest in peace, sir. You're the average of the 5 friends or 5 people that you associate with the most. Wow. I'm the average of the 5 people I associate with. Okay. So you have to look at those 5 people and be like, and it's not that you got to kick them to the curb. It's just you examining like, what's happening.
Right. And right now, I'm comfortable with the people that
you're
I
around
consider, well, the people that I consider a friend, because right now I'm around you the most. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I'm okay with that. It is what it is. Again, like I said, y'all, I'm traumatized because I've had so many bad experiences with people that I really thought was my friend. That's just like my cousin, who's a sister of the one who showed out when I took her to Dude's place. She got mad at me, and look, I went to Alabama for her. She went for a friend's funeral, a friend who, God rest her soul, but a friend who basically treated her like shit. She went to her funeral and got stuck in Alabama. I'm the one who went and picked her up from Alabama.
Yeah, that was it.
When her own family didn't do it, I went and did it. And do you know the reason till this day we are not talking? Because about a year or so ago, last year, she asked me to do her taxes.
Are you an accountant?
No, I'm not an accountant.
Are you a tax
I'm not a CPA. I'm none of the above. I could do my own taxes, but hell, that's mine. If I fuck them up, that's on me.
And my next question is, how was she getting her taxes done before?
Hell if I know.
All of these years.
I mean, right. And so, and I'm just, like I'm saying, I'm just tired of conditional friendships. Because our friendship shouldn't have ended because I told her no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And the thing is, look, I asked her to give me some gummies before they, okay. I asked her for some gummies and she ditched and dodged my ass.
Hey.
Went and talked to me or anything, but you stopped talking to me because I wouldn't do your taxes for you.
Right. Doing
of all
taxes,
things.
Doing someone
of all
taxes
things
is a commitment.
Right. Not only that, babe.
I don't even do my own taxes.
Let's be clear. Can you imagine me doing her taxes for her over the phone, and how she was over the phone, and then she get mad at me the next day and you fucked up my
right. Yeah. I didn't even think about that piece. I'm just thinking about the time.
The time, yes.
And the effort.
And I'm not an expert. I am not. I repeat.
That's a weird thing to get upset with someone.
Somebody about where you don't talk to them anymore.
Paid to do that.
And she stopped, and from there, because it was last year in April. From there, we ain't talked anymore. And again, it was nice while it lasted, but I'm tired. Again, I am tired of pouring into people while my glass is over here empty. I can't even, as a friend and family, I can't even talk to you about something serious.
Yeah, that's.
I cannot talk to you about something serious. Yet, my friendship with you, out of everything I've done, is conditioned on me saying no to you.
Yeah,
and then doing something.
Love. You it's like, but that's what it's talking about, being selective, right? Back to the article, it's talking about being selective. And I mean, some people you can't help who's going to be in your orbit because
right. Family. I mean, it's my family, so right,
that was a situation where you couldn't really help that person coming into your orbit. However, once you saw a pattern, because
I should have, yeah. And again, I have a bad habit of giving people grace.
Yeah, I mean,
and I end up hurt at the end because trust me. I missed the laughs, but then when I started really thinking about it, I'm like, what was I getting out of friendship? Or the relation? I was getting not a damn thing. I was getting not a damn thing. And this, you know what? Let's be clear. This was the one who would ask me for money for beer.
Yeah, that's on another episode.
And I would give it to her because I loved her. And at that time, I was always trying to make people happy or like me. Yeah. Because I so desperately wanted to be accepted. Now, I don't give 2 fucks about being accepted anymore. I promise you. I do not care. I will burn the bridge quickly if it means having a peace of mind, and that's just it.
Okay.
It's better to have a small group of close friends who truly understands and support you than a large network of superficial connections.
Agree.
By being more selective, you'll be more likely to find the right people who share your values and interests.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together. So, like,
Right.
if you ain't interested in, line dancing or parachuting or
Right.
sailing a hot air balloon or spelunking or
skydiving or whatever, then
yeah.
and that may not be the person you want to hang with. I'm just saying.
Right.
Drop your expectations. Number 4, drop your expectations of others. Any healthy relationship of any kind doesn't come with strings attached. When we approach social interactions with the expectation of getting something in return, we can come across as needy or insecure or even manipulative. Instead, focus on giving to others without any expectation of reciprocity. Offer your time, resources, and expertise freely, and you'll be more likely to attract people who appreciate and value your generosity.
I believe that.
Yeah, but again, my resources, I'm giving my time, resources, and expertise freely, and you can't even give me your time.
Hey, but if you see that pattern, I get what you're saying, right? I agree. If you see that pattern, they got a pattern of doing that. If it's a one-off, it's one thing.
Right.
If they got a pattern of doing that, and how it, you got to think about, well, how is this making me feel? At the end of the day, we got to kind of look at our relationships. That's a tough thing, but yeah, we got to, critique our relationships, because our relationships are the most important determining factor of us being successful. Our associations. That's the most important thing. Because you can't get there by yourself.
No, you can't.
So it's certain people
you need
that's
friends
not gonna
and
be able to
connections,
go.
but
You can be friends with people, but
yeah,
it's certain people that's not gonna be able to go.
So y'all tell me, because like I said, I am sincerely traumatized. Like I've been through some shit, and I know it sounds crazy that, okay, really, Liv, you didn't cause any of this to happen. You didn't cause any of this to happen with any of these people that were your friends, and I will tell you, no, I did not. And you know why I say that? It's because I grew up not being accepted by my own family. I was always the butt of the joke without even saying anything to anybody. You're fat, you're this, you're that. I didn't even have to open my mouth, and I would get rejection, name calling. And so I never want to treat somebody like that. Never. And he can attest, babe, these people that I'm talking about,
yeah,
I was there for them.
You definitely been there for these people. So I've experienced a lot. I've experienced a lot of these episodes.
Right.
And it's just like,
and it's like,
yeah,
really?
People, what was it? People do the darndest things. People do the darndest things. I mean, it's human, and it's human nature. But like dude said, be selective. Is one of the things that resonated with me the most. Like, you gotta be selective. And again, those counterintuitive principles were: focus on yourself first, seek more rejection, not less. Be more selective, and
drop your expectations of others.
Yeah, so I mean, be selective. There's nothing wrong with that, because people gonna show you who they are.
They are, and in due time, they will show you who they are.
Right,
absolutely.
Again, one off may be one thing, but when you see a pattern, you
gotta.
We have habits.
Yeah,
we have habits. I'm sorry, as humans. I'm not sorry, actually. We have habits, just like popcorn has habits.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? If I tell them to sit, he's gonna expect a treat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's as simple as that, y'all. Pavlov's dog theory. As simple as that.
Right.
You know, people have habits,
and
we can create habits.
Yeah. And so with that, let us know what y'all think. I mean, what do? Do you vet? How do you vet your friends? I mean, I don't know how to do that. And so, again, I just accept people as they are. And, I let them, I don't even know at this point. Like I said, I try to let them show me, and a lot of them have. And yeah, we're no longer communicating now. So, how do y'all decide, like, who do you accept as a friend or whatever?
Right. Yeah, we want to know this. So leave it in the comments. What do you think about these articles? This article here, where he talks about making friends as an adult, because it can be challenging. I guess I don't think about stuff like that because
I just don't think men have to deal with that like women.
I mean, some men probably go through it. I'm just saying, me personally, I typically don't have that. There may be some instances where nah, don't be. Seriously, because there may be some instances where I may not approach somebody, but I just feel the vibe.
Right.
I just feel the vibe. If the vibe ain't there, I'm not going to, push it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, again, what do you all think about that? We appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
So far, if you listened this long, like you said, leave a comment. Like it, subscribe, hit the notification button,
thumbs up button,
give it a thumbs up.
Yep. And if you're listening to it on iTunes or Spotify, save it as one of your favorites so you'll know the next episode that's coming out.
Yes, so, exactly.
Again, thank you for tuning in for Legacy Journeys. This is
episode 18. 18, y'all.
So we're moving them along the shoot, getting them on out there. And if there's some topics you all want us to talk about,
let us know. We're open.
Yes.
This is an open forum.
Yeah, and even if you're interested in getting on the show. So we gotta make sure we throw
thank
that
you.
Out too.
Let us know that as well. Because we want to connect singles. If you're single, you're looking for somebody, hey, let us bring you on.
Yep.
Put you out there so people can see and know.
Yep. And we got some good stuff coming up for y'all for episode 19 and 20. So I'm excited. And before I overflow with energy and boosting and all that.
Yes.
I don't even know what boosting is, but we're gonna wrap this episode up. This has been Legacy Journeys episode 18. This is Carlton Lewis.
And I'm Liv.
And again, where we embrace,
explore and evolve relationships.
We'll see y'all on the next episode, y'all.
Peace.